Hello and welcome back to the channel here at the House of Metamorphosis Tribe. Wanted to jump on and share a little bit of reflection today about the future of hairdressing. Now, I know I've spoken about the future of hairdressing many times in other videos, but I wanted to go a little bit deeper, and I suppose what I'm doing, I'm still working it out, what I'm doing on this channel and how I want to bring the information to you as best as I possibly can from the most authentic place of experience from me. And I do that by reflecting about what I need to share that I have learned over my 30 years of actually doing this work in this way, in a holistic mindset, and also, more importantly, in an authentic way with other people, and bringing them into their authenticity and just wanting to present this information to, the general public and especially the hairdressing industry, so that you can know what is available, that there is so much more for you that's available than just doing people's hair. And this is my take on what I'm feeling is really coming in. And I've been feeling this for more than 20 years because I've been working in this way for a long time. And I had this feeling that it was actually going to surface eventually. It was going to happen eventually, because the burnout and the fatigue and the overwhelm in our industry is unbelievable. It's unbelievable. People run on stimulants and they run on substance to support them to actually do more hours and fit in more hours and do more work than is possibly humanly capable. And what's happening is we're having a huge peak of overwhelm, and more importantly, we're having young people not choosing to come into the industry because of the problem of overwhelm that we have and burnout that we have, and also low pay, not great working environments. Kids are not, young people are not choosing this vocation, and that concerns me more than anything. And I feel the way to overcome what it is that we're in right now and what it is that we're experiencing in the industry, so that we don't actually see its demise, which would be heartbreaking, because hairdressing brings so many things to people, and it's not just hair. And this is what I wanted to come on and speak about. The future of hairdressing is not just about a hub, a space where people just come and get their hair. The future of hairdressing is about creating an environment in which the community can access. Now, I'm not talking about it being a community center. What I'm suggesting here is bringing to the surface what it is that we do as hairdressers, what we really do, which is what you learn and evolve with me. Like, we break down the hairdresser's role. That is so 95% of what a hairdresser does is unconscious to the conscious mind. You're not aware. It is programmed in you to work in this way, and to perform is more the word that I was looking for. Perform in this way, where you are forced to do therapy, healing, listening, reflecting, supportive work. And it's actually more emotionally laborious work than it is physical. And if we bring all of this emotional expectation of labor that's infused into our work without consciousness, we'll start to really unpack the need to actually upgrade our work, to bring our work to a level of professionalism that sees hairdressing so much more than just the simplicity of doing someone's hair. From my 25 years of now being a therapist, and from my being engaged in hairdressing, but more from a therapy point of view, of really taking a look at what it is that I am emotionally or psychologically bringing to the table when I'm working with clients, it opened up the door to my professional capacity and how I can work with clients in a much more informed way. And what happened is we're taking on responsibilities in our role without having the knowledge and the qualifications and the understanding of those roles that we're taking on. Now, you go to, professional industries like, corporate industries, and they'll have their HR people, and they'll have, therapists on board, and they'll have that department and this department, and there are multiple departments that are taking care of one organization. And that's exactly how hairdressing, and I don't see it in a corporate structure at all. I see it as a community structure where how I see the future is that we have a hub, we have a community hub, and in that hub, there are multiple, and this is how I also feel like on an ecological perspective in terms of taking care of our environment, where we don't have multiple resources being wasted in multiple areas or shops or spaces. What we're doing is we're bringing them together. We're bringing like-minded industry. Let's just have an example here. Hair, beauty, healing, massage. We're bringing in those touch industries together under one roof where it is all accessible. It is a community healing hub. And it is a community healing because there's healing in hair and beauty. There's a lot of healing, psychological healing mostly. And then physical healing in terms of stepping into the authenticity, our authenticity, the person's authenticity and their identity, and embracing their identity in their authenticity and stepping out into the world. That is a healing in itself. That is a healing. And I've seen hundreds of these people leave my spaces in a healed state, and also healed from trauma of having people do their hair that has traumatized them in terms of giving them an identity that they have not yet embodied or come to terms with or understood, what it is that they were saying yes to when, a hairdresser suggested a cut and a color, who they were saying yes to. They hadn't found that person internally. So that's the healing modality in hairdressing. And again, we learn the extension of this and the extensiveness of this knowledge in Evolve, the Evolve curriculum that I've written. But coming back to it, it's like if we can imagine coming together and actually creating a healing hub of touch industries where there's a community access point and everybody sharing the overheads, everybody is sharing the resources that are needed to set up a space and utilizing this space to support community for touch healing. Now, the future of this being needed, I believe, is going to be really, really, really high. As I've said in other videos, and I'll say it here again, as AI develops and we start losing a lot of people to that industry where, their AI is actually dealing with a lot of their business. So they're not having contact with people as much as they will now because AI is taking over those roles, the majority of those roles that people used to hold. So these people that are going to be working in this capacity are going to be seeking and needing and yearning, I believe, for human touch. So the touch industries are going to be in high demand. I give it another 2 years. I really do. I give it in 2 years once AI starts taking over and we start seeing the demise of industry and things collapsing in terms of work, like what AI is going to be taking over. And the human need and call for connection is going to start rising. And I feel like if we come together now and we start building community-minded areas, spaces where the touch industries can actually come together and create this kind of healing that people are needing through touch, through their identity, because this is what I believe what we're going to see is we're going to see a lot of people when their job gets stripped away or they lose their work, their identity is also going to be stripped away. And I believe that hairdressing is one of those places that people go to self-actualize, to recreate themselves, because only hairdressers can do that. There's no one else in any other industry that can recreate a person like a hairdresser can. Hairdressers are equipped to transform a person's identity. This is what we do. Hair is an extension and a reflection of a person's identity, and how they wear their hair is a reflection of who they are fully. You know, my reflection, just going to use me as an excuse, and sorry, not an excuse, but as an example in this moment. This is my reflection right now. Let me unpack this reflection. It's simple. My hair is really long at the moment. It's actually down to my bottom. And I've grown it intentionally. And I'm just giving you an example here of what it's like, what it feels like to be in an authentic session and exchange. I've grown my hair because it felt, you know, I'm 54 now, and it felt like it was something that I really wanted to do. I really wanted to have long hair as I was getting older, and I wanted to be able to wear it up and to tie it up and to feel soft and feminine with my hair, and also to have no fuss with it. And I find having long hair is actually much more easeful to take care of than having short hair. I can wash it and braid it, which is what it normally sits in. A lot of the time it sits in plaits or braids, and it is off my face and it is easy to take care of. I treat it and look after it every week. I feed it. I put masks in it. I take care of it, all organic, sort of homemade stuff, and I take care of it. And I don't put color in it. My hair is actually uncolored, believe it or not. A lot of people don't want to believe that about me, but my hair is not touched by color at all. This is my natural color. I have not yet really grayed. I've got a few grays, but I'm really happy with them. I feel like they are just an extension and a part of my authenticity at this moment. This is where I'm at. And I feel like if we're meeting sessions in this way, where we're meeting sessions where we're really acknowledging how a person wants to live, not based on the projection of how are we going to have this client come back as a return client. That's the business. I'm talking about the wholesome holisticness of our work. Why are we giving a person a haircut? What is its purpose? And how is it going to support this client to live their best life in their most authentic reflection? And this is the direction in which my work goes in, which Evolve actually teaches you to go in. But it's not about focusing on the return business, even though that does happen. It's more focusing on the journey that you're having and creating, the connection that you're creating with your client. Because fundamentally, I believe the reason why a client returns to a hairdresser primarily is because of their connection with you. And if we put that into a highlighted fact that our clients repeat because they like who we are as people and they're coming back to see us, to connect with us, then the secondary element is the hair. So primarily what we need to really nurture here is the relationship that we have with our client. So this relationship building, I believe, there's an aspect to us that and how we build our relationships with our client, but there's so many aspects to it. And if you're in a hub, you could build a relationship with this person, and this client could build a relationship with a body therapist. Like if you get a client that's in your chair and their shoulders are tense and their back is tense and they feel tense in their face and their energy feels tense because you can read that. You can actually just say, I really feel like a massage would do you great with so-and-so. They're amazing at releasing tension. They're great. This is their focus, la, la, la. Or you can have a kinesiologist in the space, or you can have, a beauty therapist in the space where they can get some beauty treatments, or, which has not happened before. Hairdressers have always had beauty associated. Some salons have beauty associated with their business because they go hand in hand. So I'm looking at bringing it into the healing world now. So our focus in hairdressing is about healing, working in a healing modality, in a holistic healing modality with our clients, and having services and resources in our space that can support the healing of our clients. So wrapping, this up, this conversation up, is like, how are you looking at your business for the future? Are you still focused on just doing hair as a primary service and that's it? Or you're really looking at how having Pluto in Aquarius for the next 20 years is about building community. It's about building foundational community. And if you're looking at it through the lens of the macro goings on right now, astrologically, then you're really seeing that what we're being directed to move into is, how do we build community? How do we build community in our industry? How do we build community within our team? How do we build community in our industry? How do we build community? This is the question. This is the future of this industry, is how are you going to build community with the work that we do, and how are you going to extend it beyond just the primary service? Yeah, and I feel like I want to end it right there, but what I want to say is, if you're interested in what I'm talking about, if you're curious about it, please go to thehouseofmetamorphosis.au and check out my website. On the website there, I have got a 20-minute free call that you can jump on and have with me, so that we can have a chat about where you're at. I do mentoring, there's the Evolve curriculum, there's the personal mastery curriculum, and also TA is coming out next year, which is very exciting, but that's for people that have done Evolve. And there's all sorts of other resources, the Conscious Hairdresser's Playbook and the self-care kit that you can actually access in our shop, and start off your holistic journey somewhere, because this is where I believe it's going. So please, jump on, check out the stuff that's on the website. Give me a call. Let's have a conversation. And if you love this content, or you're feeling inspired by it, please click like and share and subscribe to this channel, so that it may grow and reach other people that are in the industry and beyond, that this information will inspire and uplift them to be more than a hairdresser. Take care, and I'll speak to you all very soon.